This is Press Center.
Press Center is a current affairs program where we objectively and dispassionately dissect events as they unfold so that we can positively contribute to the ongoing narrative of the Nigerian state. Usually we have seasoned journalists, public communicators, and veterans in order to shed light that is needed to influence decision-making, set agenda, and also see to it that things are done better, that the Nigerian project begins to work better for each and every one of us. I am your host, Godfrey Obaka, and I'm privileged to have on this edition the chairman of the NUJ in Delta State, Comrade Deacon Churchill Oyowe. Mr. Chairman, you're welcome to Press Center again. Thank you so very much. We remember you were here to flag it off at the very beginning. Thank you so very much for the passion you have demonstrated in seeing to it that the Quest platform contributes to the opinion and the shading up of opinions in Nigeria. Thank you so very much. And we also are privileged to have a veteran, Comrade Pere Botu. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, my brother, for having me.
He has a signature smile that can magnet you know. So we consider this a very special edition in so many ways, and we will be looking at three important topics. One has to do with the Inec, the electoral umpire, because come to think of it, gentlemen, 2026 is seen as the political year, while 2027 is seen as the election year. So INEC, just last week, Thursday, did present a budget to the National Assembly of about a trillion naira, with which it can run the 2027 elections, after it has brought out a timetable, and also the council election in Abuja and the Ekiti and Osun off-season election. You know, but some of us have noticed a snag in the sense that the INEC chairman, with that humongous sum, did also tell Nigerians that the commission should not be held accountable for any hitches or election failures in terms of results, because they are not 100% in control of their mode of transmission, that they do not have a communication network with which to. So if there is a failure in transmission, and as a result there are debates and contestations about election, do not hold INEC responsible. Reason being that they do not have their own Airtel or their own MTN, you know, so any election failure could be attributed to these networks and not to INEC. And Nigerians have begun to wonder, is this how a democracy can be sustained? Why do you devote such an amount to make a system work and yet create escapes and alibi, you know, for fault lines, and for people to say it's not our fault? It could have been the result of those who were transmitting it. But gentlemen, in order that we discuss in context and we also be able to have reason for some level of comparison, arguably, India is the largest democracy in the world, with the number of citizens they have to vote. And incidentally, while preparing for this program, we ran into a recorded commentary of how their system works, so that we should be able to, in perspective, put that side by side with, because they say ours is a nascent democracy. It's an upcoming democracy. It's an evolving democracy, but it should not remain evolving forever. You know, so that we'll be able to see how where we need to go from where we are now. Veterans at the Press Center. This indeed is a case study and a story of India. And if you juxtapose that with the Nigerian story, the Nigerian experience in democracy, we see that INEC is asking for, has presented a humongous budget of almost $1 trillion for the elections. And on that same occasion, the chairman is presenting an escape route and an alibi, a plea that the commission should not be held responsible should the system fail because they do not have a network dedicated solely for that. And what does that make you, how does that make you feel as a Nigerian, especially in the light of INEC motto, which says making your vote count and deepening democracy? Comrade Deacon Churchill, I come to you.
980 registered voters.
Yeah.
650 plus came out to vote.
Yeah.
Compared to Nigeria's 20-30 million that will come out to vote. India's landscape is so wide. Like I said, we are not, in terms of size, we are not up to India. Population-wise, we are not up to 1/10. Population-wise, land mass. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Forget the saying that we are in nascent democracy.
Yeah.
You cannot continue to move from A, B, C, D to meet somebody who is in Z. Because the technology has been provided.
Yeah.
All you need to do is either you steal the technology, or you borrow the technology, or you adopt the technology and make this work for you.
Great.
So, given the excuse that we are not in charge of the communication facility, doesn't he know that there is what they call partnership and cooperation?
Yeah.
These people who control the telecommunication facilities, if they can use it to write JAMP, if they can use it to write WAEC, if they can use it to do banking, even those local, the new entrant bankers, I don't want to call their names here so that we don't promote them. They are the traditional bankers and the new entrant bankers. They operate in every nook and cranny of Nigeria.
Yeah.
If they can transact business, is this simple text message? Because transmitting results is like text message or WhatsApp message. Is it that simple process that cannot be done? Why is he giving up even before he started?
He's trying, yeah.
So he's just telling us that he's not capable, except he will withdraw that statement and work towards success. Because what we expect of him, even Mahmoud admitted that they don't have problem with transmitting results. Though at the end of the day, they still had glitches. What we are expecting from Amuk Piton is to move further from where Mahmoud stopped.
Exactly.
And give us progress.
And deepen democracy.
And deepen democracy. Give us progress, not take us back.
Yes.
So, if that statement is coming from him, he should, I think again. This video clip we just watched is meant for people like Amuk Piton, so that they will know that success is what he's looking for, not failure.
Exactly.
I think I should stop there.
Exactly.
For now.
Comrade Butu,
Yes.
we come to you now. The clip about India leaves us with a takeaway that they are leaving no stone unturned to ensure that democracy succeeds. They even use helicopter to take voting materials on the day of election. They also ensure that results are announced within a day. And so that gives the process some level of credibility. You are a veteran, a tested, proven one at that, and you have covered election. Having listened to that narrative from India, does anything make you think that there are people, institutions here that are doing the opposite, making every turn to be stoned, instead of leaving ensuring that no stone is unturned, So are there people here who ensure that the electoral process and the leadership emergence process has some challenges.
Yes, the clip I just watched now about Indian democracy marveled me, a lot. It goes to show that in our country, we're not serious and we are far from getting it right in Nigeria. Quite unfortunate. First, you know that we have this mistrust about the Inec, the electoral body.
Which leads to a voter apathy.
Yes, once you hear Inec say, I believe them, what will happen? I beg you. They know we don't win the election already and the rest. Just like the police now. Whenever you see a policeman on uniform, the first thing that goes to mind is this man is corrupt. That's the mindset that we have. Now you are bringing a professor who is also a senior advocate of Nigeria, who has practiced law to an extent to be awarded that recognition of a senior advocate of Nigeria, and a professor too. And as a person who have climbed, maybe from junior lecturer or senior lecturer to that peak, one would expect that even his way of talking will kind of encourage Nigerians that the next election is going to be interesting, the next election will be free and fair. Then going back to our own process, one, we must adopt technology in what we are doing. Look at India. Marvel me so much. 980 million registered voters.
Yeah.
664 persons came out that day to cast their vote. And the elections, their results were announced in one day. Talking about a general election, talking about maybe the presidential, national assembly, local government or whatever, as the case may be. Here, we are not doing other elections in one day. We have the presidential elections and national assembly election in one day, then the governorship and the House of Assembly in a different day. It's not as we are doing it one day. And the budget now about 800, close to 1 trillion naira. That is the biggest project the federal government, through an agency, we're embarking on for just 2 days. And yet we will not see any physical structure on ground. We have technology. Now, if I need to collect money from the bank now, I don't need to go to my bank in ABC Road or somewhere, outside Bolu here. I just look for the nearest POS machine. All I need to just give him my ATM card. He will just put in, I say, is it current savings or whatever like that? At the time it's current or savings, he will tap it to say, please put your PIN. He will put the amount of money, collect the charges. And in less than how many seconds, you would have what I mean. It will count my money and give to me. I just go away. I don't know what transpires between the POS machine and my bank.
And if it's your son that is in one of the tertiary institutions you sent it to,
yes.
Before you leave the POS machine,
you will tell the
yes, that your son would have called to say, Daddy, I have received.
Sometimes even before I send the receipt to my daughter in school to say, this is the receipt of money I sent to you now, she has just called to say, Daddy, I have received the money. So why are we not adopting technology? Okay, now, just of recent, the federal government now, the Tinubu went to Turkey now, had the defense agreement or whatever like that to supply us arms and the rest. Atlanta, America is also here now. Why can't we also pay a working visit to a place like India, a place like France, a place like UK and US to now see how these people work? And the rest, you don't need to have your own network first before you can say that you want to conduct a free and a fair election. And for him to be coming out to say that NS should not be held responsible, it shows that he has already failed. And he ought to even put his paper and just resign. Because truth about it, the INEC chairman is just a supervisory officer. We have INEC in all the local government areas in Nigeria. We have them in all the states in Nigeria. These persons have been there. Some are civil servants who have worked there 20 years, 30 years, and the rest. So they have the experience. The man is just supervisory. So for you to now come out to say that we are not sure or whatever like that, no, it's a painful decision. And moreover, you know that if we don't get our electoral system right, many other things will not be right.
That's correct. God bless you for that.
Because if Mr. A wins the election, let it be true that he actually won the election. And let Mr. B say, though this guy really won me, I will not go to court because he won the election. It was free and fair. We all saw transpired.
I think that is the only way we can succeed in bringing back the people in the equation, the democratic equation. Because something weird is happening now. It does appear that our equation about Nigerian democracy, the people are skillfully defined out of it.
Yes,
you should do some consultation.
So one of the problems we also have, just the other day I was in a bus and somebody was saying that just the way Nigerians they own houses in different parts of the country, the same way some people own Nigeria as a house. That some people are landlords of Nigeria. And that statement, quite striking. I started looking, at Nigeria as a country. You see, Now, what I feel,
But that appears to justify the need for take back your country. You understand? If some people have decided to own Nigeria as their own.
Yes. So we need to fight. And how do you fight? This electoral reforms and the rest, they are not done, at the grassroots. They are done on top, at the national level. Just imagine FIFA now. FIFA is the governing body of football in the entire country. They set the rules.
In the entire world.
Yes, they set the rules. Okay. We don't have Footballers Association of Nigeria, of the world, who say, okay, no, let us set the rules this way. If you play ball this way, you eat. No. You understand? Let us have a body, an independent body, made of retired judges, maybe journalists, or different spheres of human endeavors. Let them come and draw out a system, a blueprint for us that will not carry out. Because these persons who at the National Assembly are the ones now adjudicating, now looking at the reforms, clause by clause, whatever. They are, you know what Akpabio said. He said, you know that I'm interested.
Okay.
I'm interested in running an election. Okay. So they want to set the rules to favor them.
Yes. Comrade, the chairman identified, that is Professor Moputa, identified the absence of a dedicated communication network as a major operational challenge, adding that if the commission develop its own network infrastructure, then Nigerians should hold them accountable. But as it were, for now, the commission has no communication of its own. So Nigerians should not hold them accountable for anything. Comrade Oyowe, knowing about leadership and the need for Nigeria to get it right, what really do you think INEC can put in place? Let's try and see how we can set an agenda. What can INEC put in place? What can INEC do in order to cure voter apathy in Nigeria? The last election we had in Anambra, neighboring Anambra, the governor who needed to be voted back had to incentivize the people by saying any ward that is able to mobilize this number of people, so million for them. Opposition called it vote buying and all that. But the truth is that if people are convinced that their vote will count, they will come out. Otherwise, if they know that it's just a formality to endorse people that had already been agreed upon in one meeting or in one place like that, then they may not. What can INEC do differently? Chairman and UJ Delta State, what can INEC do differently in order that one of our ailing issues of voter apathy can be cured once and for all?
Okay, I just want to state this clearly. There's nothing INEC can do aside what the law says. INEC role is to implement the laws. The Supreme Court has on several occasions made this very clear, that INEC has no place setting the rules, that it is the law that sets the rules. And the law as passed by the National Assembly is what we should be looking at this time. Whether the laws are made in a way that it serves or they serve personal interests.
They seem to be worded now in ambiguity and ambivalence.
Or the interests of the country.
Okay.
Is something that we should look into critically. When you make a law and the law is full of ambiguity, then you have ended up not making any laws. The way the laws are now, concerning transmission and not transfer, is still ambiguous in the sense that you are now making an alternative arrangement for transfer, not transmission of results, for transfer of results to take place.
Depending on discretion.
Depending on whether there are itches or glitches.
You're the one that is convenient.
And the one that is convenient. And, okay. I tell you, rather than the rule, you see them taking the other routes to ensure that they transfer results and they don't transmit results. Because the way the laws are now, it is not clear to say, whether you like it or whether, let me use that language. you must transmit. If INEC does not have alternative, they must transmit. If in isolated cases you have areas where you could not transmit, then you repeat the elections in those areas rather than use the proviso of transferring using the manual method. Let it be one law that it must be through transmission. And if INEC has no option, then they must stick to that option. Let it not be two. Don't give any loophole for manipulation. The way it is now, there are loopholes for manipulation. And you know, I started by saying that every election has 3 ingredients, because elections are the infrastructure of democracy.
Yeah.
Infrastructure of democracy.
Okay.
There must be integrity. There must be credibility.
Okay.
And these two must necessarily lead to stability.
Great.
We are talking about people planning coup. We should not encourage people to plan coup with the way we conduct our democracy. We have to protect this democracy by all means, so that people will not be pushed to the wall to want to plan coup. If people keep planning coup, then we should hold the actors responsible for thwarting democracy. You know what happened in the First Republic? The macabre dance that took place. Some of us were not born then, but we read. Our politicians were defiant of advice. They defy all forms of advice to protect the democracy. They fought tooth and nail, the way we are seeing it now. And we have not learned from history. They are still truncating this democracy. And with their conduct, bringing their personal selfish interest to bear on laws that should outlive you. Every law that they should be interested in should be ones that should outlive them, not the one that will enable them to come to power and come to power and come to power again, because you will not be there forever. So should that become a routine, it means that we will not develop as a democracy. Our democracy should be fed well in a way that it should be it should have integrity. It should be credible. That is the only 2 ingredients that can bring about stability. Anything short of that, we are making democracy impossible. Like they say, it's a truism. If you make peaceful change difficult, impossible, you are making violent change inevitable. We are begging on our politicians and other institutions responsible for democratic process to succeed in this country, not to fail Nigerians, not to fail Nigeria. India is a good example. We have said they should go and study India. You don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. Technology is there for you to adopt. I think
that level of uncensored truth can only be had at the press center, where we say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
This is Press Center.